back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to apply RGB inverted filter to live camera preview in React Native's new architecture for Android. So this is Android only tutorial. One thing which I want to clear off at the very start, I am not using any third-party library. I will be using CameraX with native code, that is Kotlin, to implement this, and we will be following this particular documentation. So yeah, let's get started. Also, I'm using React Native 80, which is the latest at the time of me recording this video. So first you need to create a project using React Native. So you can just run this particular command. You can, instead of demo, you can write your own project name, so it's up to you. I have written it as test app, as you can see over here. I have already created the project. We don't require CocoaPods because this is only an Android specific tutorial, like I said. Okay, once you have created this project, the next thing is it tells us to run this particular command. So you can either run this command or you can create these folders manually, but do not run this particular thing, web view, because in this documentation they have given an example of creating a web view, but we are not creating a web view. We required camera, right? So we'll be changing the name a little bit. So what I would say is, do not run this command at all. We'll create all these folders manually. So first what they say is create this specs folder. Okay, so if you see over here, they have also given a structure of how it should look like. So first let's just create a specs folder. So here you can see I have created us. I'll just close everything just so that you guys don't get confused. So in the root of your project, just create a specs folder. Okay, then they say create inside main java com create a web view, but instead of web view, I think I have named it as my camera. You can name it whatever you feel like. So go to Android app src main java com, and here you can see I have named it as my camera. Now this name is very important. Whatever name you give over here, same name you will have to use it in lot other places as well. So if you're doing this for the very first time, it's better you follow what I am doing. Okay, so I have given it as my camera. Next, let's see what it says. We need to create this TypeScript file inside our specs folder, but again I will name it differently. The important thing is, so I'll just show it to you. Okay, I'll go back to VS Code. Here you can see inside the specs folder I have created a file called my camera native component.ts. Now it's important, whatever folder you have named created over here, same name you give it over here, and at the very end you have to name it as native component.ts. That is very important, otherwise code generation won't be able to find your project. Okay, also in the meantime I'll just open terminal as well, because we need to run few commands. I have already ran it, but I'll just show you those commands as well. I have just cd'd to my React Native project. Okay, that's all I have did. So first you need to create this folder. Now what I did was, I have literally copy pasted everything from this documentation, from this code over here, but I have changed it some things according to what I required. Okay, so first we are importing React Native. Okay, I think it is giving me an error, so let's just fix this. Okay, yeah, I think from React Native 80 it throws an error. I don't know then how to fix this. This is always a pain. Every time you use a new React Native version, something or the other breaks. Can we directly import bubbling event handler from this? No. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just comment this out. Let's try to do a trick. And here you can see public event handler. It is giving me the same thing again. I don't want to use deprecated things because otherwise you guys will face lot of issues, and the problem is they have not even updated their code base or their documentation. Have they? Okay, I think they have, but from where exactly are they getting? Okay, they are getting it from CodeGens types. Okay, so this is a new thing, because I was following the documentation. I think they have just updated the documentation recently, so which is a good thing. So what I can do is I can just remove this too. Okay, and for bubbling event handler we can just import this CodeGen types. Okay, I'll just copy it over here. Sorry about this. and to use this I think we have to use it like this. Okay, and next is CodeGen native component. This they have imported it from React Native. I don't know why they have written import React Native twice, so I think we can directly write it like this. CodeGen native, this is a little bit weird, I don't know. Maybe I'll just remove this. Yeah, sorry about this. So you have to import something like this, I think. I don't know, I think this is how we need to import it like this. So you have to write this type view props type CodeGen types and type host component and CodeGen native component. Okay, we'll go through this step by step. Okay, next here I have created an export default CodeGen native component native prop. So here you can see I have named it as custom my camera because that's the name they have given, custom web view. So I have written it as custom my camera. Okay, rest everything is present by default, whatever they have given I have just copy paste. Now coming to this particular part, so I don't require this source URL and on script loaded, right? What I require is on image taken. So whenever we will show a live camera preview with inverted filter applied, and we will also show a take photo button. Once the user clicks on that take photo button, whatever is the captured image URL, we will send it back from native Android side to React Native side. So that's what we will that's why we have written this on image taken. And here you can see we have this bubbling event handler which takes this my camera image taken event, and this event only has this result of type string. Okay, so yeah, that's how simple it is. So you can just copy paste this. All right, so this is done. Next, if you see inside a package.json, we need to add a bit of code. So I'll just go to package.json over here, and if you see they have already told us add this CodeGen, right? So I have just copy pasted. I have changed few things, so I have just pasted over here. Then firstly, app spec I have copied it from documentation. Type is component, JSR source directory specs, Java package name com.mycamera. So this should change depending on what is the folder name you have given. And here also we have to write again iOS we are not really interested, so if you want you can remove the iOS part as well. We are only interested in Android. Now important thing which they have missed according to me is you need to run npm install because you have changed the package.json file. Make sure you do run npm install or yarn or whatever you use, because I have noticed sometimes if you don't do this and directly try to run your application, you do get some kind of an error. Just to be on the safer side, just do npm install again. Okay, all right, then what we need to do is I'll just scroll down. Then here inside the Android folder we need to do this. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Okay, and then we need to copy this particular part as well, command C, and we have to run it like this. So basically this will do code generation for you, so that the code generation will be really helpful if you try to open your Android folder inside Android Studio, but I don't want to go that route, otherwise this tutorial will be extremely complicated. We will be writing native code, but I will be showing all the code via VS Code only. Okay, then if you scroll down here, you can see they are telling us to create this particular file called React Web View inside this web view folder, but in our case it would be React My Camera, right? So just go to Android folder, src main com my camera, and here you can see I have created this particular Kotlin file called reactmycamera.kt. Now before I show you the contents of this file, two things there are which you need to keep in mind is, first one is you need to go to build.gradle.kts, and here you need to go to the dependencies block, and here you need to add few dependencies. First one is this. Okay, you don't require this dependency, I'll just remove this. Okay, first you require this camera core dependency, then is this camera 2 dependency, because we are using CameraX, that's why we have to import these libraries. Then the camera lifecycle dependency as well, then the camera view dependency, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and then this media 3 effect as well. Even in case if this dependency does become stable, make sure you use the stable version instead of the alpha version. So now let's go back to React My Camera. So firstly, this should be your own package name, like com dot whatever is your folder name. So in case if you have decided to name it differently, you have to change it over here. Now here there are a lot of imports, so feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy all these imports. Like I'm not going into this all these imports by myself. Okay, then here we have annotated with @unstable API, because at the time of me recording this media 3 effects like the RGB inverted filter is still in preview mode. That's why we have to add this unstable annotation. Hopefully by the time you guys watch it, it does become stable. So it takes a context. Okay, we applied this to this variable. We are extending from frame layout as well, and we also have a life cycle observer. Okay, then here is our camera, here is our preview view, here is our image capture, then here is our capture button. Even the capture button is created via native code, because it's very difficult to do the communication via React Native side. Again, it will complicate the tutorial, that's why I have not done it. This preview view is basically your camera preview view, which I have named it as viewfinder. Then here we initialize our camera executor. Here is our process camera provider as well. Again, we don't really need this, so I'll just remove this. Then here lens facing back, so because I want the back camera. Then here I have created one method called get activity, where we are just passing the current activity which we get from the context. Then inside the init we just initialize our layout params. So here we just do linear layout dot layout params match parent. Okay, then here we do is focusable in touch mode, request focus from touch, and install hierarchy fitter. This is a hack which we need to use. I will show you the code as well, because this is an open issue in React Native's repo. Since 2018 they have still not fixed the issue, so I have to use this hack. That's why I'll show you this method in a bit, but here we are calling this method. Then here we just add the viewfinder inside our view. Then here we just change the text of our button as well as background color, and set the text color as well. Here we change the alpha value of it as well. Then here we initialize the button, and we display it at the bottom of the screen. Then we set layout params to our button as well, add our capture button to our parent view. Then we add a click listener. Here we pass take photo. Okay, and inside on attached window, and if we have all the camera permissions, then we do viewfinder.post set up our camera. Now for camera permission, before I forget, you need to go to android manifest.xml, and here you need to add, so I think internet permission is present by default, so I have added uses feature of Android hardware camera, then the camera permission as well as the write external storage permission. So make sure you add this as well. Then on detached window we just shut down our camera executor, as well as we unbind our camera provider. Like I said, this I have copied pasted from the GitHub issue, which has been open from quite a while. I mean, it's almost been 7 years, still they have not fixed it, but this is the hack which you require, unfortunately, to display your camera view. Okay, then here we call setup camera. We get our process camera provider, we add a listener to it as well. Then we call this bind camera use case. So here we get the preview width and height, here we get the rotation as well. Here we initialize our camera provider. Then here we build our camera selector. Here we define our aspect ratio strategy as well as resolution selector. Here we initialize our preview view as well. Then here we initialize our image capture as well. Then we add this use case group dot builder, add our preview use case as well as image capture use case. Now this is the interesting part. Here we use this media 3 effect. Then we use this create inverted filter, like add this effect to media 3 effect. Then add it to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider. Then here we bind it to the life cycle. We assign it to the camera variable. Then here we assign the preview view to our surface provider. Then inside take photo, which is called on the button click, we get hold of our image capture. Here is our simple date format. Here we do content values dot apply, passing the display name, MIME type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we have image capture dot output file options. Okay, and then we do image capture dot take picture. Here we override on error and on image saved. So on image saved we just call emit on image taken. So this will basically send the URI of the image back to React Native side. Now this again is little bit complicated, so here we unbind our camera provider. This is a helpful method which I have written just to check whether we have the camera permission or not. Okay, and here again I have created some helpful variables as well. Now here on, okay, let me just quickly check. Have I written it twice? companion object, I mean typically this is a bad practice, you should not write it twice. Okay, I have written it only once. Okay, so here is emit on image taken. Now this is how you send data from camera from UI to React Native side, from native side of UI to React Native side. Okay, now you might be confused from where I have copied this all this code. So I have copied it from the documentation. So if you go to the documentation over here, you can see they are sending the some different kind of a data, and they have to refactor it because they had this success as well as error in the TypeScript file, right? So little bit like mostly I have copied 90% of it, but you have to make few changes as well. So that's what we have done over here. So this is how we use this result, because I think inside TypeScript file we have defined result over here. That's why we are using result over here. Then we just do on image taken event, and then we just dispatch the event, and here is the inner class on image taken event. And here we have to write this on image taken, which we have written over here. So that's all the things which we are doing over here. Okay, then again let's go to the documentation. If you scroll down here, you can see they have this manager class created, so we need to create that class as well. So here you can see my file name would be React My Camera Manager. Now this mostly I have copy pasted it from the documentation, but again we have to change few things, like we don't have this React prop, right? We only have a callback. Okay, so we'll have to change few things. So again, this should be your package name. These are all the imports. Okay, and I think this all I have copy pasted. Only thing is, we instead of web view we have to write my camera everywhere, React My Camera, React My Camera everywhere. I have written rest everything I have copy pasted it from the documentation, and here we initialize our React My Camera. This is important. This should be again your own name, whatever you have given it inside your package.json file. And this again is required because we are sending some data from native Android side to React Native side again. So this also they have mentioned it over here, but again we'll have to change it to based on our TypeScript file. So that's what I have done over here. Okay, then let's scroll down. Here you can see we have this React Web View package.kt as well. So again we have to create this React My Camera package.kt. Again this should be your package name. These are all the imports which we have. Here we extend from base React package. Here we override create view managers, and here we pass our React My. So this I have basically copy pasted it from the documentation. So yeah, feel free to pause the video and just copy paste all this code. So that's what I have done over here. So again I'll quickly check. One thing I think which they have still not fixed yet, they have added this underscores. I don't think this underscores is required. They will throw an error for you. You have to write it without the underscores. That's what I have noticed. Yeah, so be careful with this as well. Okay, so yeah, this is done. So basically I have copy pasted it most of the part. Then we need to add this inside our main application as well, right? So you need to come over here, go to your test app or whatever your project name is, main application.kt. First you will have to import it like this, and you have to add it over here like this as well. Okay, then rest everything should same as default. Then how to use it? So firstly you need to go to app.tsx. so here again I have made few changes. So firstly I have added all this imports, so make sure you add all these imports, and here we are importing our My Camera as well. Then here I'm just checking whether the image URL is empty, or I've added one state for it, and also one state for whether the camera permission was granted or not. Okay, here I'm checking whether the Android version is greater than equal to 29, because if it is greater than equal to 29 we don't require the write external storage permission, we only require camera permission. But less than 29 we also require the write external storage permission. So that's what we are doing. So here I have created one method, first checking that if it is Android 10 or higher, then we only require camera permission, otherwise we require camera and write external storage permission. Then if once permission has been granted, then here you can see I'm just changing this variable to true, else I'm not changing it. Okay, same for this below Android 10 as well. Now I'm calling this method from use effect. Then here we are just checking if image URL is not equal to empty, then we are displaying our image. But at the very start we will have to display this My Camera, right? But we can only display it if camera permission is granted, else we display a text saying give camera permission. And these are the simple styles attached to it. Okay, Now let me run the application. I know this was a little bit complicated, but yeah, it is what it is. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments, but let's see the output first. Is the output. So I have recorded the video, so I'll give the camera permission, and here you can see I have this capture button at the bottom, and I'm trying to move my camera. So here is the live camera preview. Now I'm just showing my surrounding to you. So this is the inverted filter. Now I'll just click on this capture button, and it should capture our image, and here you can see it is displaying it inside an image view. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.